Mhm. Okay, that timer's on. Hi, guys. I'll give it the 4 minutes for anyone who got notified. Hopefully, you guys are getting notified. It's Monday and finally feel better. That was tough. The coronavirus was tough for me. Some people get through it like no big deal, but I have some really good stuff to go through. It's a 70 something page PDF file that I've got to do this very good and clear because I know that I'm going to be asking a couple of the investigators are going to watch so they could understand the PDF that that they're going to be getting. Um, um, yeah, we're preparing the case they're preparing a case, you guys. Um, FBI, I think there's a lot going on. I don't know. I'm not going to be privileged, obviously, to any information. I'm not but I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Um, one of my main people is Benny. He definitely gives a lot of information during his interviews with Don Wells. He gives lots of information that I think he probably was made aware of. His last one's gone. It was taken down. Um, and I'm sure there's reasons why it was taken down. Um, so a lot of great stuff's going on. I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to take this down. We could take this down. I'm going to start from the beginning of what I'm even talking about because um, there are new people that come onto the channel and I just start talking as if as if everyone that's listening all landed and stopped the same time I did on whatever sentence, and I just pick it right back up, and that's not fair to those who are new to the channel. So welcome. If anyone, I would love for you guys to subscribe and give thumbs up or whatever they do to enhance the channel. Would be great. I just started YouTube really when the Summer Wells case was announced and it was thrown all over the internet, and I haven't seen it on the news. And it's actually really one of my first cases to be working on it like so in depth and so detailed and so obsessively. Sorry, I'm moving my chair around. My background, I'm not going to give the whole entire story. There's a great video that I did in there about who I am, where I came from. That will give you guys a great insight. The Summer Wells case, we all know she went missing June 15th. A little girl that the country just fell madly in love with. Watching her story, I'm going to speak from my point of view. And I am going to let me just throw this disclaimer out because I'm going to be calling out actual people's names, faces, and so forth. And everything falls under this section of 107, the Copyright Act from 1976. So I'm allowed to use it because this is all for the good of the case, and it's all for the good of trying to find Summer Wells' missing children. Anyways, when this case was brought to me, in front of me, what I mean by brought to me was my background is clairvoyance, medium, and many things are shown to me and brought in front of me, and I don't even know what it is because I didn't ask for it. Nor do I know what I'm supposed to do with something most of the time. A case was shown to me when I was in the hospital having a horrible thing going on, and it wasn't Summer Wells. A case showed to me on the TV, a little boy who went just gone, and his mom was found murdered, death. They said she killed herself. I don't believe so. And from there, things, I watched the story on the news, and from there, things were just opening up. And I was journaling and journaling and journaling about missing children, where they're going, what they're doing, where they are. Make a long story short, uh, I'm writing this in April 28th, I started, which you all know is before Summer Wells went missing, June 15th. So when I turned on my TV for the first time in my brand new office, because I'm going back into my woo-woo world and my spiritual world and my teachers, and I'm going to do psychic stuff, and I'm going to work my fertility and help people die and all that I love to do. No, no, no. God had a different plan for me. Because I turned on the TV for the first time, and it's a Tennessee station with this little gorgeous blue-eyed girl who stared right at everyone in that TV, and her spirit was so loud, and she was so bright, and she was so strong, and she was still able to communicate with us at that point. It was like, excuse the word, fucking find me now. There's a lot of us. Find us. Like find us. We're right here. She kept saying, we're right here. We're right here. We're right here. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta look into this. So, so I put my fertility appointment away that I have with the fertility center, to bring in my amazing healing work, and I put everything to the side, and I literally went into all of these messages were coming through. I went, because now I don't have anything to grab onto. I didn't have any YouTube stuff. I didn't have Don Wells's drama. We didn't have, we're going to all solve this case because they couldn't shut the fuck up, right? So we didn't have that in the beginning. All we had was her last photo. No, her last place she was at the lake. Her last activity she did was dance in the rain and swing on the swing. The last place that she went was the lake. And the last photo that we had was of the car. That's what we had to go on for those who started in hour one, literally hour one. Like, I was watching it when it was announced as there's a child missing, like during the Amber Alert. That's all we had. What I had, for those that are in the psychic world or clairvoyance, whatever area of that other kind of world, got a lot more, because I feel as if Summer Wells was so strong. And there's so many, I call them missing children of Summer Wells, because there's so many children underneath Summer Wells that we're all saying the name Summer Wells, but there's hundreds. Once we solve one, we solved all of them. You're all working towards the same people to get locked up. The cases involve the same people. So Summer, to me, is she's like the band leader. She is the one that's she's got this because she's got all of us. Like, she's got this because we have our attention to her. And there's so many other children that have gone missing since Summer went missing, under the same conditions, same information, just got gone. We don't know anything about them because the parents have learned to keep their mouths shut because they're the ones selling them. They see what has happened when you keep your mouth open and keep talking like you just want an audience. They're going down. They're going down. So why don't you see as much, social media as the other ones? They're not going to make the same mistake. One of the Robin, Candace, Don, Grandis, Allie, and I think then came Benny was there, and Timmy. Someone fucked. Oh, you'll see my stuff information, and the person in the red truck. I don't know who that is, but him too. Someone made a mistake. This was all planned out. I'm giving you my read on this, and then I'll tell you how, and then I'll go backwards. This was all planned out. Because it was all planned out, I was able to some reason see the freaking plan and everything that happened. The craziness that happened, I should have kept my mouth shut because it's so crazy and so disgusting and so uh, unbelievable that I should have known. You talk about this and tell them what's going on, they're going to think that you're nuts. I didn't listen. I didn't listen. I was gathering this information. They're getting their heads cut off. They're getting this. They're bleeding. They're burning. I mean, like all these things all together. And the reason I was getting all this information together, it's not because Summer went through all that herself. I'm getting all this information because it's what all these children have experienced on some level under Summer Wells' missing children's case. I am not saying that Summer Wells was hung and cut and head cut off and bones and whatever comes out. That's what comes out. I picked up on a lot of that sick shit because I wanted to understand it so badly that I zoomed in so strongly and it crossed me over to see the sick shit. I had to take a month off because I was literally fucked up from it. I literally could tell you exactly how they're burning people, where they're lighting it, how their feet are tied together, how their hands are. I know that there's metal on the wrist because I felt the burning. So I have all this information. No one's really going to care because that's not going to get anyone put in jail. That someone on Channel 2 is saying, oh my God, I see a piece of fire. Like, I had to make sense of it. I didn't know how, you guys. I didn't know how. So I just started gathering photos and I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go to those TikToks in the beginning. I have to give this part of the story before I give you my PDF because my PDF actually is the accumulation of what I know this all is. So I start looking for photos frantically. I'm going to swim TikTok. I'm going to the swing, the water hole. I'm playing backwards and forwards and slow and fast the last car ride. I'm playing back Dancing in the Rain. And between all of those, and then throw in now, between all those, I had some crazy photos. Oh, and then there was a TikTok of them with some scuba diver people on a boat. And I'm looking at all these different locations. I'm like, this is fake. Like, I knew it was fake. I know when I'm looking at a fake photo because there's no feeling. It's like fake. Like you're like fake, totally fake. I then start to see things. I'm like, oh my, and as I'm staring at the photo, like that's what you do when you're intuitive. You stare into a photo, and when you're really good at what you do, the photo tells you a story. What was happening is I'm staring into these photos, I'm seeing the photo, I'm seeing what's happening, and I'm thinking that the photo is showing a photo. And back then, when people listened to me, I kept saying to them, tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see, because I don't know if you see the same thing I see. Literally, I didn't know. And they're like, why is she asking? What do I see? I don't see what she's seeing. You're looking at a photo. You're looking at a photo, and when I'm looking at a photo, it changes it changes and tells a story. And I have had to learn through these months how to navigate my gift, how to make it worth something, how to be able to speak to FBI and give them a story without losing them that I'm a nutcase. To build the credibility, and the only way for me to do that was to absolutely positively bring in information that others can see because it's factual and it did happen. In the Summer Wells case, I could see something that happened on that property by that tree on there. There's so many kids that have died by that tree. I saw them all. So I'm like, this person, that person, this face, so many faces. There are really only three faces. I think there are just three kids. Two other kids I think went, not just, that's not what I mean, because I know there's hundreds. What I'm saying is there are two other kids that went with Summer. It was their sacrifice, and I think there were three of them for sure, but at least seven in the group, because there's a picture of the group, you guys. It's a group. Um, I had to figure that out because I went to different TBIs, I went to different stations. I went all the way to my state capital, to the state police department. I did a lot of this, and I could tell they were like, you know, we don't know what you're talking about. And I remember showing the pictures. I'm like, it's right there, it's right there. So then I decided to put all my photos away. Thousands. I printed them out, you guys. I didn't even look at them because I printed them, I put it in there, I was using my computer. I'm like, no, I got to start looking back and seeing, I know what happened, and just make a list of the elements that I see that are important and only take those elements. Only those elements. If I find for me to make a list of elements, and I'm telling you this because, um, I'm telling you this because you're going to see a presentation of almost 80 pages, and you're going to say to yourself, well, how does she know that that piece of wood is important? I'm telling you, anything that you're going to see on this final PDF has had now going to 8 months of repeated appearance. Repeatedly appearance. This little panda face or whatever, this pig face, whatever it's supposed to be on her shirt. I didn't just it wasn't grabbed out of because I'm grabbing for straws to talk about on YouTube at all. It was put in this presentation because it is in every situation. And when I say every situation, it shows up in a lot of videos. And now we have what really was really helpful were the vigils. For all those channels that supported the vigils, I'm sorry, you're guilty of working with them because those vigils have photos that we just didn't have, and I know that because I look. Those photos from the vigils are very crystal clear. They didn't touch a lot of it. They have a lot of the pure photos. Um, I know that for a fact because I use the vigils for a lot of other cases. For Lena, I went right to the vigil. For Harmony Montgomery, I went right to the vigil. So I learned that's where they show their elements, and I got them all. And I got them all because I wrote down of what was important in my visions. So all of this would never have happened if I didn't turn on the TV and look right into Summerwell's eyes. So Summerwell's missing children case of this Summerwell's case is so meaningful, and I know not just to me but to others because I know a lot of people have gone through a lot of experiences through the Summerwell's case. My growth personally, intuitively, on my journey has exploded on a high level, and it's also allowing me to learn how to live with it. I'm in my 50s and I still don't. Now I could say I do. Now I could say I do. My husband, who's known me, we've been together since we were 15, sees it. He's like, you are learning how to turn it off. He's seen me in every situation. He's my backbone. He's the one who grabs me when I faint from doing, an in-body healing in an ICU. He's the one who knows me. He's the one who is afraid for me to go to that deep, dark place because he's seen me get stuck there. So it's not as if my husband's like, stop doing this, you're crazy. No, no, no. He's like, you could start doing this, but you really you have to learn how to not bring it with you when we're going out for dinner with a couple and you sit down and you're answering questions that are across the room. So, this Summerwell's really, 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 really was so such a teacher to me. And I watch YouTube, and I do know that I've said it before, everyone that's fighting and they're still fighting and talking about nonsense, not really talking about new things, kind of just repeating old stuff. It's all lesson. It's all lesson. She's here to have you stop and be like, what the fuck am I doing? How can I do this better? How can I do it better and not sit and talk about someone who doesn't like my content for an hour? So instead of living in the hate of what people are throwing to you, they're going to keep throwing it to you if you don't recognize what you need to do with it. What you need to do with it. That's what Summer Wells brings to the table. I really had to get that all out there as I go into this PDF. Um, the first, when I mention, I'm going to go into it now. So when I mention, and once in a while I open up chat. So when I mention the number 5, Don the Clown, the number 5, I know that there are a lot of people that are now new. And again, I apologize for not explaining details. It's just like, I don't even know why I forgot to always repeat it. But Don number 5 is something that has been actually in photos since day one, since the car ride, which the car ride was her last car ride the day that supposedly coming back from the water hole. She's laying on those milk jugs. This number 5 I'm like, is that a number 5? And these are things that everyone else could see. Like, what the heck is that number 5 in there? And it's everywhere. And then when I started looking at one of his photos on Facebook, I pulled it to the side, put it on my laptop, put it in the PDF, and what happened was it turned to a clown. So it's a clown with a 5, so I call him Donald number 5. Don the Clown number 5. I mean, that's what he is. And when an element like that becomes your first element, then all of a sudden he's looking like a clown. And I'm going to go now, pull the pictures and see, is that an important part of this? And I'm going to say cult-like ceremony. I'm saying it. It's what it is. This is a cult-like ceremony. And then I noticed that, there's makeup. There's a lot of makeup on Don. He's doing this, he's doing that. So now that's going to be another element that I write down and focus in on if it's there, instead of focusing in on the teeniest little things that are not yet not ready to be explored, basically. And that's how I was able to now pull. These are 2 young couples that are on YouTube. They all have the same thing as Don. They do these sacrifices, and the guys' faces have the same makeup on it, you guys. So then I pull it aside. Most of the elements that I pull to the side, I don't use anymore, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're not seen. They are. But I can't take one photo and name all the elements, because the whole entire photo actually is a lot of elements. But I'm choosing one element at a time because I really overwhelmed my audience in the beginning. So Candace's shirt, this is the shirt that she wore all through Chris's interview. That if you go back to any of these interviews, look at her shirt. Just stop the video and look at it. And this is what it is. Now, why is that important? Because I'm now going to show you how that image directly relates to Summer Wells' face. Directly relates. It's very interesting. So that page 1 is important, and this one. As I continuously worked on, sorry you guys, on this case, trees, branches, leaves, we can't turn away from the fact that they were consistently videotaping it, putting it up, videotaping their land, videotaping the gross rocks and wood in the water. um, I would say thousands of video, going through the thousands of photos of this situation. I am focused on this scene. This scene, let me show you how I build up the elements. This scene has not only Summer, but it has the panda face and the A in the left-hand corner. This wood looking thing, like this person is sitting on this wood, these are real. This is what they're doing to him. I'm having you wrap your head around because I have lots of pages to go through. This all adds up. So when I'm like, oh wow, now I have a photo that has the panda face, it has the A, because I know that that piece of wood at the last day in their swimming hole is shaped like an A, makes sense. And then they take a picture of this piece of wood to your right. I know, this is all, when I say for a fact, I mean for my fact, nothing's been proven. I know for a fact they use wood like that. And these some part of them or something floats away in the water. I know it. I felt it when Chris was doing an interview with Candace, and Candace and was staring at the water. And I'm not saying that that was the location. When Candace was staring at that water, Chris was standing there staring at her. Could. You don't even have to be intuitive, you guys, to not notice this. She stared at the water and her head was moving as if she was envisioning this piece of wood floating away. And she did it while Chris was talking to her. I'm very good at that. I'm very good in putting myself in the situation, in the place. And I knew, and I did a whole live on that. I'm like, she was watching her float away somehow. I don't know if it was her. I don't know if it was a body part. I don't know if that is whatever that is. I know it's wood, but that's not just a piece of wood. Whatever that is has gone through a massive, massive, massive ceremony. That whatever that is has been with Summer from the beginning, and I think that that's it. Totally, I do. Here's more photos, and I'll show you how. There are certain things that I have said in the past. I'm like, I know that this is her last photo. So when I do something like that, that means that I stick to it. I don't go away from it. I don't like change my mind. Even though it's a crazy looking photo, up in the left hand, this is from them. Like they layered it in different things that happen. This situation you see in front of you is in there. It's up in the right hand corner, coming out of her eye. That little thing that little white thing that's coming out of her head, what do you think that is? That little white thing in that bottom left-hand corner is this. Whatever this is, gets put in the water, it floats away. And this all comes together as far as being at the water park. That's not the water. I don't know. And I think I say it's that Lane Run, Laurel Run, whatever it is, Laurel Run. This is one of the things. This is what they do. So they were in the water. The pictures that I showed you, so the one other video that Candace has of the water is when she went swimming. I don't even know what it was. She just showed video and she said it was summer, but it wasn't. I showed those 6 photos. But that situation, how can I explain this? Their photos are totally messed with and they layer it and layer it. This situation to the left, up the left, is the same situation as it's in the right. So what you're looking at to the left is a whole different video. These are all from Candace's Facebook, you guys. That's where I got this. It's a swimming video. That's from the swimming. It's just swimming one day. Just swimming one day, and I knew I saw this. To the right are photos that came from the water hole. Different days, the whole thing. But what I'm showing you is it's the same ceremony. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They have elements that stay consistent, like this. This here has every element as being one of her last photos. All the way to the end, you have a V, and then you have the heart. Then you have the heart. Anyone could look at that as a heart. Other people could look at it as a B because it looks like it spells Bly to me back there. But I could tell you one thing, if we look at the dancing videos, I bet you that those initials are in there because it's the only video that I haven't been able to pull in because it's so layered. And to me, that is a part or something is floating away. And in the front of this little choo-choo train thing is that thing that we see in the water. Look at it again. It's the same mechanism. These are photos from different things, you guys. This is showing you how it's such a strong element that it appears in different situations, and that's how it becomes, to me, the story. Like, this is now part of the story from my eyeballs. Summer went missing and no one knew what outfit she went missing in. If you really look at the pictures really closely, you have 3 outfits, and I think it's because she has 3 different places that she needed to go. This swimsuit, this outfit here, I believe that is Summer. Look at it closely what's happening in the water. If you look at the body, all of those photos, I think this is another person all the way. Those are 2 separate people. Whoever's all the way to the right is the little boy, is a little boy. I don't know who, but I know it's a boy. I know it's a boy. This is what the photos look like. They wind up having all the same elements on their bodies and on their necks as they do in every situation. The white, it's a white outfit wrapped in that maroon red on their body. It's the same things that I show you that are wrapped in the trees and on human bodies as well as their parents. It's a constant element. This to me, this was pretty much, this to me is she got drugged pretty heavily here. They seem to have the same outfits. This wasn't her last outfit, I don't believe, because after the water was a ceremony. I'm just telling you. But this is all the same day. And this is when shit really hits the fan for her. This is a picture of this is the same picture I just showed you up top of, I would say call it scene number 2 at the park. Farther in that photo, you see this. So I'm just showing you another thing that they're doing in the water, at the park water. And this matches, again, to the left, that photo came from the tunnel. And that the tunnel is what I also said they're doing things in the tunnel. And I said, may not be the tunnel. They may be using the tunnel as a deep fake, but what I know is real is whatever's floating in the water. And then that's what I look for. I don't look for the tunnel. I look for the pieces that repeat, not the deep fakes. And there's that piece of wood that they always show with a person, little person on it. I think that that is what floats away. I think that they make those. I really do. At that same park that I said had Summer's last photos, you have this. You have a boat all the way in the distance, and there's a number 5 in front of the boat. Um, that little head up in the left-hand corner that's also a common element that I have seen enough times to know that it is part of this ritual. It goes over the face. I don't obviously know what they do with it, but that was found all the way as far back as to the Appalachian Fair in, I think it was the 70s. That was on their floor in a presentation that I showed about Appalachian Fair. Like in the same room, it had like human heads. And then that other one with the shield for the face was found. I found that was on Don's deck as he's doing construction. So, and number 5, I always grab because I've seen it enough. But when I see this little face here, I don't see that often. I've only seen this little face on a pole during an actual sacrifice. And then it also has a heart or a V in the bottom left-hand corner. Summer, this is all the same week when she was gone to me. You see the photo to the right that other people have seen. Now this photo, she has something in her mouth. I mean, I know what it is. It's something that they breathe in. They're drugging them. That's what's in her mouth. And like I said that she started doing like this drug stuff in this room. They connected it all to her, and it's in there. They're both the same thing. She has something in her mouth, and she doesn't have a bruise. I know I've seen other channels try to explain it. That's what it is. I'm going to have a lot of photos from a few different families that are on Facebook, on YouTube. They have all the same elements as like a robin. Robin has that thing on her neck with the red tube coming through it. This girl has the same thing, and the child behind her is all bloody. This is what Robin has on her neck. And this is what Robin has on her neck. What I want you to understand is to look at what's on, Summer has something on her neck too, but I want you to realize that this is all happening the same day and she has the same outfit on. It's not just that it's important that you see what's on her neck, it's that you see that her shirt is the same. She went with a group of kids. So it wasn't just Summer by herself. There's Robin with it. All of these photos are messed up. I've gone over those before. Summer's missing children are part of a cult that's very symbolized. They use lots of symbols, lot of deep torture, and they're doing so much that it's really quite hard to understand it, or to really realize that is that really an image? Is that really what's going on? Well, these sick images are used for some reason. There's a process, there's stages, and they're used and when they're used, when the kids go through different stages, it looks as if they use different icons that represent the stage in order for people to watch. These icons look like the white wrapped with the bread with the red tubes. It looks like the flat body bags. It looks like all the little things that I have been like the faces that look like skeletons, the faces that look like they have a mask on it. So the people that are behind this created icons. They have icons for their members. They have icons for their members, and when I see the icon, I know. So when those are really just supposed to be pictures of summer and they turn into body bag with a zipper, or they turn into a head being held by, you know, I don't know what that is in the bottom right hand corner, but that's not summer. And it's being advertised this summer. So I know that these are icons, and I know if you have access to the dark web, you're going to get what you paid for. This is summer. Not good. So as that process, whatever they put them through, looks as ridiculous as it does of her to the right, those pictures on the left match the craziness, you see. It matches the craziness. Everything goes together. This is a ceremony. And the photos that the face that's on there continues through the case. So it's not as if it's so crazy. It's not so, like, it becomes like not so crazy anymore. Like, okay, here it is again. These are the panda faces, and I'm going to show you something that I pulled together. These are the panda faces that appear 5 different locations, right? Which is very unusual. And what's most unusual, obviously, is that it's on her t-shirt. Like, that's so obvious. The bottom photo across the bottom, you guys, I'm going to show you. It comes from the original red Toyota truck that is right behind the Wells's house. I'm going to show you a photo. I have it next. Here are the pandas. The one to the right that's from Benny's channel with a little panda and that head. It looked quite crazy last week, but it sure doesn't look crazy today. The bottom one is from I don't remember which sacrifice. It's from a different. It's from oh no, it's from the water. It's from the swimming water. Then there's a one in the middle that to me sums up the whole entire sacrifice, and it just floats away, and that's that. Those are the panda faces. And that's in the news. That's just been in the news. This is just a closer photo of the panda faces. There it is again, and there is on the right-hand side is very telling. It's a very telling story of what they're doing to these kids. I showed you that. Here's the red Toyota truck. Only reason I'm coming back to the red Toyota truck is because all of a sudden the red Toyota truck that was first mentioned in the beginning has all the elements. We didn't look before because it was the first thing that Don and Candace put out there. They're the ones who spread the rumor about the red truck. And then they said it was blue on Dr. Phil. This red truck, I have shown photos that it has a body in the back and has that by the wheels. Now, I think I must have shown it a little too soon, but now those things show up everywhere. And this is on the red. This is all on his property. Look at these photos. The up-hand right-hand corner with like the panda face and that head, It's the same as the other photos. I pointed it out 7 months ago to look under the truck, look under the truck, look under the truck. And I said, that's what I saw under the truck. And it's there. It's it's behind it's behind that fence. And no one's dug up his truck. No one's dug up his property because right in front of that truck is the hole in the ground. I brought this up. I'm like, go over to their property, go over to this guy's property. Just go to his property. That truck with that body like that was also at the Wells house on the helicopter footage that was done the very next morning. But this has what I'm talking about, you know? It has what I'm talking about. The other thing I look for is this light up heart. I'm going to show you how it's at the water, but the water proves to be Laurel Lake, and it also shows to be that they also do something, and I pulled it out. I put in a separate PDF because it's too confusing. It did show a location of these boxes that they use. I don't know what's in them, but it has the same information. So the heart you see in the left-hand corner up in the back, that photo comes from a photo that was connected to the Harmony Montgomery case. I don't know why it was there, but it showed. It's in the bottom. It's on the bottom middle. It showed like crazy stuff. It showed like a body in the ditch, but the crazier thing was it had the heart up in the corner of its picture, and I'm thinking, is that right over? Is that? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's not. Maybe that's. Maybe that is Laurel Park. Maybe that's not a street. But whatever it is, wherever this person is standing in the picture by that street thing, took a picture of the heart that's over at Laurel Park. It's what I'm saying. It's all the same location. I don't know where it is. The most important thing is to I'm getting this to the right people. Here it shows the heart. This is the heart in the sky, in the water, and that's the heart at the very end of what I said was floated away. Because I'm showing you the consistency in that element. These are pictures from them swimming. You guys could go look at them. And as crazy as they may look, they're not as crazy anymore when I match them up to several different photos of the same situation. So when you look at the one to the left, there's a heart holding a heart. There's that person wrapped in white, just like Summer was with the red things. And it's got a little person in there, as much as that looks crazy, that's the same situation as in the water that we just saw. In the water where that's the same thing as, let me show you. Oh, let me see maybe I put it up in here. Let's see. Nope. This. Okay, wait. Let me just grab this picture off of here. Oh, here it is. Okay. Copy. Okay. all the way. This is the same situation. All the way to the right, the picture of her in white with wrapped in that stuff. And then the heart and the V is all the way at the end. And the middle is like sticks with some person in there. It's the same thing that you see here. So I know that there's someone's doing something like this. We may not know the location, but this is what they're doing, and it's in water. It's in water. This one, I've seen this movement a couple times. I'm using this one because it didn't make sense to me before, but now it does. This is part of the ritual. And this didn't make sense to me before when I saw this photo and was like holding a little baby with one of those little white things. Like what I've been showing you is on the wall from Summer, that little teeny thing in his hand there. See it? Let me blow this one up. It's worth it. Let me show you. All right. Let me grab this. It really comes together because the elements are repeated and repeated and repeated, and they're repeated and repeated by the same people. The same people are repeating it. All right, let me crop this. And I'm going to show you, wait, this one. He's holding a baby doll. Like those can't be real. I mean, I'm assuming these are the baby dolls. And in the middle of that baby doll are one of those white things. You see that? That's the same white thing that we see like everywhere. And where I just see one. I don't, usually don't see just one like that. I'm going to show you. Because to me, that one is for one specific person. I think that whatever those are being wrapped together, and maybe they symbolize a lot of people. But this one in particular, I believe, has what to do with Summer. Personally has to do with Summer. So I personally think that they're holding something like that. Save. That they're holding something like that because it's Summer, if that makes sense. So the symbolism of him holding that and doing that is the same symbolism as you see in your right-hand side. It's the same process. This was one of the pictures I said held all three, that I said that there are three phases. I still hold that to be true. I'd still hold that to be true. Here's that green thing that lady's holding. I see that green thing a lot. They make it white, they make it blue, and they make it green. It's like a skeleton something, but it's definitely part of the equipment. So it's part of the equipment. A lot of these pictures I've gotten from Benny are all from his interviews that he's doing with Don. He deleted his last one. I'm sure I could tell you why. Anyways, here's one of the pictures of the kids with that blue thing on, a blue thing on their back. That's the blue thing I've been talking about. I'm like, I know it's of importance. And then I saw this, and just because I saw that here, then I added whatever blue container that I see to pulling it to the side. It's part of the equipment. These are photos that I found from one of those real crazy families on YouTube, not the Beesons or whatever, one of their friends. So there's like 3 families that have photos that all match Summer Wells' case. They don't look crazy to me because it's all the same equipment that I've been looking at. And this is crystal clear in their, right on their YouTube. Those photos that you see in front of you to the left is taken from one of those families, and to the right is the Lori Vallow case. Lori Vallow case has all of the same information. They have the same equipment. That was known to be her son's last photo. That was known to be his last photo. His last photo also, he's connected to the same machinery. That's in his house behind him. Now, no one looked for it during the Vallow case because no one is looking for these. No one is grasping what's going on. No one is grasping it. I'm like handing the people to FBI right now. And this is the best way you could do it. There's the blue thing by the equipment on the Wells property. Candace Wells' last photo, I kept saying that blue thing on the table matches the elements. Well, it does match the elements, and I do believe that was part of her. That was part of what she did before she was really messed up, and that to me proves that it was in her house. This is from one of those couples. They also have the exact same equipment in their kitchen. That's the same equipment, you guys. His head is laying on it. I know what's going on there. It's the same equipment. It's in her pictures in her YouTube. And that's just photos. And that to the left, that to the right that's the equipment. And that's when they were babies. The equipment gets attached to their head. I don't know what it is, but they're the ones who posted this. I didn't. The equipment to the bottom left came from the Wells's property. The upper left is a picture from the Here's family reunion that I showed, was the same vigil sacrifices as everyone else's vigil sacrifices. And this is a photo of one of the babies from one of those rich girl families, whatever. They're all doing the same thing to their kids. And this is how it starts. Whatever they do to the head. They posted it because they think no one like me is looking for it. Well, I have it all. So this is what's going on in their house. And they may have tried to cover it up in the other photos, but the reality photo is right to your right-hand side. That's their son. That's the mask. That's the white thing. That's the fucking equipment. That's it. That's the equipment. It matches to it. Everything matches to it. I have so many other pictures that I could put with these, but I thought it would be best to put photos out there from different families and not just one. It's not just about the Wells. These crazy photos with their heads like this on a blue thing. This is what it winds up looking like. That's the blue thing. Let me show you again. What you see in the water is not necessarily water. Look at the elements. This may not even be in water. This could be in sand. And this is a head. That blue thing that you see around the neck, please grasp and understand that you're looking at something like this. That's what's around the head. We don't know what they're doing, but I'm not quite sure that is even in water. And it's in here as well. It's right there in the picture on the Wells property. The bottom left-hand corner shows it. So that is the white, and though that's what they put on their heads. It looks like It looks exactly like some of their swimming photos. If you guys go back, I love going back 7 months. It's going to be 8 months now. And then the photos, like, it's so crazy how the craziness is actually looking like a story. The picture to the left are the Beesons. I think it's the Beeson family or the Kent family. That's the picture of him coming out of the woods. Whatever that head is the same as what's going on in the Summers case, Summer Wells case. And the swimming, it's like I don't know where they are, but what is consistent are the pictures of what's going on, not where they are, not where their ass is sitting. It's what's happening, and it's not like in the middle of an ocean. Like, we don't know. We just know that this is what they're doing, and it's a ceremony. And whoever's involved, they each get their own set of an equipment because it's the same equipment. They put something in their mouths like this. The one to the left-hand side, that's from one of those families. The middle is like a fake Summer or Summer, I don't know. But to the right is not Summer, it's a little boy. And she has one of those green things around her side. So it's connected to her. It's connected to her. And this all stays consistent. Even the things that are in the middle photo, the little red bumps that are showing up on her body. If you all remember, that's been watching me, the slip and slide photos that I showed of the girl's back all bloody, and they're covered in those things. They're covered in them. Yeah, it's a lot. This is what's going on in the water. This, at first glance, someone will be like, what the fuck? You know? But this here seems to be one of the most popular pieces of the equipment. Okay, whatever is going on here is a sacrifice with blood. It's a sacrifice with blood. Robin Lane's doing the same thing, and that is Summer. Whatever situation she's in or whatever she looks like, I do not know. I could tell you what I think it is, but they're doing something, and she's going in for the eyeball. And she's connected to the same thing as that lady to the left. She's never using a microphone. When you see her in church, when you see her in vigil, she's not. She is fucking taking a life is what she's doing. She's doing nothing other than taking a life of a child. That's what she is supposed to be doing. That is what she's doing. Here are the other faces that have the same thing going on under their neck. Benny's photos, there's lots of them. I have Robin Lane, and I have the two on the bottom ends is from Harmony Montgomery. The middle is from one of those families that I'm covering, and the one on the upper left is also one of the young families. But they all have the tube coming out of the neck. I have been seeing that for months in many, many photos, but I never really stopped to see if it was on anybody else, and it's on plenty. Here it's on this here. I believe Timothy. I believe that Timothy's in here. I don't know if it's really him, but their T-shirts in this Harmony Montgomery case also changed, just like Summer Wells. And again, the photos that they changed to are parallel in in representation as the icons on the computers, on certain people's computers that are involved in this. They use those same as things as an icon. And this is a series, you guys, oh, I didn't even tell you. Channel 25 News is doing, they just did a Harmony Montgomery case. I gave her all my information, and they're going to be, TBI is falling way behind because Channel 25 sees the connection. Channel 25 Boston, and they're doing a story on it. She was so excited. She couldn't believe what I gave her. I said, yeah, over here, TBI, they don't really give a shit, so go for it. They're identical. Same people. So this is Harmony Montgomery's mom. She's got all that shit going on her. All the same stuff I've been showing you. I think that's Timothy. My gut feeling. All right, so here's just another close-up because sometimes they get pixelated of what's going on in their shirt. And what's going on behind them. There's a lot going on in this photo, but I focused in on the changing shirt because I've already showed you that it's happening in the Summer Wells case. And we all understand those white little squares now. They're everywhere. Close up, a little more close up of their shirt. And a heart. They have the heart. Okay, this is her mom. She has them layering down. And now I do understand that is what, this is an element. It's like a chain. I think they're bones. I think they're little bones. And this is why I want to go to Boston. And this is why I want to go there, and I want them to interview me then. And these are real. They're not deep faked in there. Channel 25, I said to her, you just were there and she wasn't expecting you. I'm showing you how all these cases have the same elements. This is Amber Hagerman. The reason we have Amber Alert, it's named after Amber, who falls under the killing of number 5, Don the Clown. That's what I see. This is what this mom is. I think this mom knows. This mom has these Barbie dolls, which is really creepy. That's a picture of her daughter on the bike. She's covered in those white and red things. She's covered in symbols. She has the V. She has the number 5 on her bike. She has a critter, or like little thing underneath her tush. It's loaded in. I am one of the kids, one of the Summer Wells missing children's cases. Period. The doll. Let me show you the next page. The doll is connected to like a fucking IV. Wait, let me show you. The little doll up there in the right-hand corner. And then the clown thing was found in another picture. I wonder if I didn't put that whole picture up there. But I have 2 photos, and that's what's in her photos. And that's what's in her poster above her head. And this reminded me of just all the little dolls. It's that Candace, for those who don't know, she has a doll collection. It's so creepy and so representative to her about her life and what she's doing to these kids. They all get a doll. There's definitely dolls that they're pulling apart, and her dolls mean something to her. They mean something. And the little doll head, it's from, I put it up there before and I gave her credit for it. Can't remember. But that little doll head could be the one that's in his hands. Everyone blew it off. It was just blown off. Blown off. This is just another photo that came from one of the guys you guys watch on YouTube. He's on the Wells' property, but they're doing something, and their arms are wrapped in those white things with the red tubing. Their arms are wrapped around it while they're holding that, whatever they hold in their hand. that they use it as a mechanism. That whatever equipment they use works off of a push of a button. That I know. Works off of a push of a button and a screen like a telephone. But that's what's on his arm. What's on his arm is the same thing that's on Harmony Montgomery's mother's arm. And it's also on all the legs of these families that are on YouTube that need to be arrested. They need to be arrested. They're covered. They're not covering their shit up because they are too young to understand that we know what we're doing. They're too young, naive, and stupid to realize that someone like me is going to stop and look. It didn't take much. If you know what you're looking for, you're going to find it. This child is being sacrificed right on YouTube on their fun little channel that they have. Not any longer, because this isn't for the TBI. This is for the FBI. This is for the FBI. He's covered in those, you guys. He's covered in them. And that's the boy with the one little one by his side, just like Summer had. He is not having fun on a board, a water board. This is what he looks like. Now, this is real. This is real shit, you guys. He has that thing, something coming out of his head. It's been put in there by that machine that I showed you. That's in their house. That's in their house. These are rituals and sacrifices that we can't wrap our head around. But let me tell you something. This picture is completely wrong. Completely wrong. Here's Grandis's guilt. This is a great now picture of Grandis's guilt because we know it's guilt because her head is in the same fucking thing that Benny's head was in. But Benny had his purple light on. There's no purple light here because Candace decided to show her phone at a vigil. And because Candace showed her phone at a vigil, this is what's on it. Grandma with the fucking thing in her head. And there's a thing that we think is a phone. That's Candace's hand. And hers has a number 5 on it. It's upside down. Please take a deep breath. Feel the impact that you see a picture of Grandis and she's sitting and she has the same fucking thing in her head. I'm going to show you a comparison. It's that one of those white things and it's a tube. It's a tube. Let me find a picture. It's the same situation as this photo. Wait. As a I'm going to show you the photo. I have so many. It's so hard to. So many. I might even have it in here. Wait. Let me get it. I want to show you how it's like the same contraction. It's like a same contraction. Nope, not that one. Thanks all. This is fun. I'm going to look at the chat when I'm done. I'll look through the chat when I'm done. Wait. Oh, here's the purple ones. Okay. Okay. Come on, I have so many. It's insane. I have to find this one for you guys. Because what it's in the same kind of a contraction. So funny. I always do this. I can never like quickly find a photo. Oh, I know. Because my everything goes so much slower when you're like online. PDF. Okay. Oh, I know. It's in here. I know where. All right, let me open this up. I know where it is. Um, that's a very telling picture, you know. And the thing is, like in any other case, if you were to show a picture of someone with like something's connected to their head like that, like mechanically, and you also see the same thing connected to a child's head, like right there, that person would normally be just pulled into, um, here it is, a station and questioned about it. Edit, copy. Okay, it reminds me of grandma's situation. To me, it's the same. They're in the same equipment. They're laying in the same thing. To me, that's the same thing. They're doing the same thing. They're part of the ritual. What I don't have to know what they're doing other than to know they are part of this ritual. This shouldn't be a photo. This is not normal. It's not normal, especially when your granddaughter is missing and this is what I think you did to her. Here she is walking through her dairy, her dandelions or whatever, daisies. This couple does the same thing to little children as what happened to Summer Wells. Now, her stuff gives a lot more information that the FBI will like because they're dumb and they're young and they're stupid. Those are the containers that we see right there, that they use those. Those are the containers that I showed a picture of that I said was either in Bahamas, Mexico, Florida, like it had palm trees, and I have that in here. I don't know where she's bringing whatever she's carrying, but it's not her child. Look at the stuff. And those things are something. And in the grass area, she has the equipment. She has the equipment. And whatever those boxes are down there are part of the gathering. That's part of the end of that's the end. Now this is what this dumbass mother from one of these young children's bison, I don't know, all of them. This is what she has on her. This is what she actually put. When you go from this, and it's her child crying, to this, and it's a picture. It's this, you guys, in the corner left. That's what she put on her last thing. She's not joking. They do the same ritual that they wind up looking like that. When I saw that she put that up there, I'm like, you are so dumb. For anyone who actually realizes, like I do, what you're doing, you just told me that that's what happens. That's, I don't know what that is, but that some part of that winds up like that, and it's a symbol of who that child was for whatever ceremony ritual they're doing. She put that on her on her YouTube. It's like a 15-second video. When you go from this, you go to that. That matches and pulls in my whole story, saying that that wood thing with those pieces of tree makes sense. Because I think that they dig out the tree and they use part of that tree as a ritual. And whatever that is becomes this. It's part of the ritual. Don't ask me what. No idea what they do, but she brought it together for me. Makes sense to me, and I see it. This stuff is crazy, crazy. All makes sense now. That looks like the same thing that, see, that Grandis is in. Looks like the same thing. They're doing the same fucking thing. It's holding a skeleton, whatever, to their head, and that's what's happening over to the right-hand corner. But now it only even gives more information. It gives the white thing with the tubes coming out of it. Crazy. The church. These are pictures from the church. He has a skull in his hand. The picture that you see in the left lower corner comes from one of those crazy families. The young kids with all the kids, with the thousands of babies. They're the only people I know who have more than one baby in 9 months. That like literally give birth. Like it's just the strangest thing, and no one's paying attention. And they're all different ages, and they're all not the same photo. They're doing the same thing as they do with Summer Wells. It's not all their children in the photo. It's not all about their children. They show other children. Their children are fine. Their children are being used. They're being used just like the Wells did. But these are young people. They love the money. Love the money. They love the money and their family. And they're so excited. And look at this. And we get to travel. And we get to do all this. But you could do all that by sacrificing your life to the devil. So hurrah for you guys. Great job. You did it. This is the church. Photos that come straight from the news stations. The news stations have the best footage because they are the ones who had it the first hour. They have it really quickly before anyone can change anything. We've all have different versions of the Summer Wells social media. That is David Dotson. He has a snake. That's a snake. Do you understand? They brought a massive snake to church. And that is Summer. So a snake must have something to do with this sacrifice. Or a snake head. But they're holding a massive snake. That's what he's doing. He's not giving hand gestures. That's a snake. I have no idea what that has to do with anything because I'm not I don't know about these sacrifices. I know that at the end, I've seen it so crazy. You guys, when I was telling the FBI about organ harvesting and what then I know that they sold her heart because the last pictures of her with her heart lit up. I literally think that he may have pushed like a panic button to get me out of there. But it's all here. It's all here. It's all here. And this is what they do. And David Dotson is running. This is the church. They show all fake information. Benet Ramsey, I could totally, completely close. It's the father. This is the father. Okay, look in his eyeglasses. His eyeglasses have the white things, and it's number 3. Her father was number 3. 3s are all over this case. All over. All over. This little girl has been a part of this kind of sacrifice the moment she was born. I'm going to show you. The moment she was born, just like Summer Wells, just like Harmony, just like Lena, just like the other case I showed you, they're born into this. And this father is number 3. This should be solved, this case. They hang it all in the Christmas tree. Those pictures that you see are from Benet Ramsey's Last Christmas in the tree with her bloody hand. The one all the way to the right in the corner, I just wanted to show you guys. I know I brought up the Lollipop Co-op Center. They have all this stuff in containers. They have all these little things. It's just one of their containers. It's guilt that they're just guilty. Benet Ramsey. Here's more pictures of her. That's her with her girlfriend. All the way to the right, it's all the same elements. Look at it with her green shirt, and she has one of those nipple things. Um, even the pictures in her house, the photos of her as a baby, they superimpose really horrible things in the back of the photo. This child lived through horror. This child lived through torment, just like Summer Wells' missing children. Her last known photo shows those white bags in the background. She's in the same kind of a flooring as Summer Wells was. It's the same looking kind of flooring. It's the same. And this case has number 3, and it does also have a number 5. Just so you know. Where could I find a 5? They show up. They show up. This is her as a baby. The panda has symbols in it, and those are the baby's fingers. That's what happens to them. And I know a pudgy little finger with that little dot on the top is they're under 1. And the other one with her hair red, they think they put wigs on her, and they put this shit in her hair, but she's holding one of those little skeleton pieces as well in her hand. They were both guilty. These are the kids who think they're so cool, and no one notices anything. If anyone recalls, I get tons of images on eyeglasses in the windows of cars, like they put it in picture frames. This dude is so dumb. He puts like the whole entire what's going on in his glasses. It's pretty crazy. That's what's in his glasses. These Summerwell's missing children's case is ready. It's ready to go arrest people. It's ready to bring them in and question them. It's ready to go to locations to find and look at these locations. They should be digging up. They should be digging up the shit out of that house that has the red truck, and they should be digging up the Wells property and bring Benny right in for questioning, and Robin and David Dotson. It's all there. And Timmy. They're just it's all there. This is where I think that they do something with the organs, and I do believe it, and I think that goes probably right overseas, like right here. I mean, look at Grandma. I think that those get picked up. That's probably right like by the Mexican border. That's probably right outside of California. That's probably the border's probably right there, and they grab it. But that's no coincidence that is there. I mean, blue part. Wait, let me find. Nope. Wait 1 second. I want to find. I'm gonna show you. the water. Let me see something. Those little boxes, let me see if it's in here. What's blue part? You see that on his, I always thought that was really odd. You know, if you look at this one I showed met a long time ago, there's a blue thing on the top, and then look at those white masks. Those white masks with the holes in them. I actually think those are just masks. I really think that that's real, and those are just masks. Let me see. Let me find this. White box. Yeah. So this, as you all could tell, whoever has one of these things on and wears any of these and keeps one of these white things with the bloody whatever is part of this. You don't just have these on your body to have them on your body. Here's the truck. That is one of the places I'd go quickly to dig up. I am trying to find, it's funny because blue part, I tried to take pictures out because it was getting way too long, and then I put them to the side. Okay, let me see if it's in here. All right, PDF. All summer. One second, give me a second, guys. Okay, let me put this in here for a minute. This one is what I went through the other day, showing you how this shows up on Grandis. Okay, and that this is a true location of part of their ritual. I stick to it. I think this is the water location, and I think that that's where the twigs are. They do something here. They do something, and I don't think anyone is gone. I have no idea. But this is a location that has everything. And now that makes sense. See that blue thing on the ground? It's the same thing that's on summer. It's an element. What I want to show you in David Dotson, there he is again. What I want to show you, you guys, you could, this I just went over. There's part of the equipment I was showing. Okay, so these photos were found with, under Harmony Montgomery's Google search. And when I pull this apart, there are a lot of images on here. Number 5, the red things have like ghostly like faces. They have a lot of information in here that to me connects it to the Summer Wells case and obviously the Harmony, because I think they're all the same. Those boxes that we just saw Let me open it up again and just grab it here. Oh, I think it's just crazy how these young kids, like, what is going on? And no one's doing anything. It's going to get done. They're going to get in there. It's going to happen. Um, it has to. It has to. Okay. Edit. Copy. All right. Here, the boxes that we see in the right up in the right hand side, I think become packaged like this and shipped out. And that's the part that is international. That's the part that goes across the border. And she obviously, wherever that is, that sure looks like it's crossing some border to me. And those are the boxes, like the white boxes with the things wrapped around them. And I believe that those boxes become these. I just do, because these photos shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be attached to Harmony Montgomery's case. See the number 5? It's just see number 5 Donald. It's also on the black suitcases, and the ghostly like pictures are just like the icons that I showed you on the guilty's computer. So this black kind of a makes sense, right? Because I do believe that they sold her heart. I just do. This is the picture that is connected to those photos. What if this is by the border? I guess the FBI is going to have to figure that out, but this picture has the elements in it. And it's very telling. And the goods are like in the grass area, like they're in there. They're in there. This is Harmony Montgomery. This is a whole different one. I've gone through this before, but this is to show you the white and the red pieces. They match. These are in different ones in Summer Wells' case. The ones above the Harmony Montgomery's mom is from her case. So to bring this all together is pretty remarkable, because they're every case I could lay out each and every one of them and show the 5 most common elements in both match. Now, the girl with the pointy nose here, I don't know who she is, but she reminds me of the girl that we all talk about, the girl that's in I think there's a guilty party. She has black hair and she has pointy nose. She has black hair and pointy nose. Like, I don't know why I think that that's her, or by some stretch of the imagination. Let's see. She looks like this. This is Summer Wells case photo of someone like that. Oh, could be this girl. What if they're the same person? They kind of have the same role. They have the same role going on, you know? Look at that. That could be, but that's going to be up to the FBI to figure out. But this, she was for the Summer Wells, but has the same kind of a mechanism going on. See how you just pull those together? See, I thought that this looked like Timmy. I mean, you guys, it's not out of, it's not so far-fetched to think it is. I mean, he has like that thing on his neck, the bloody thing on his neck, and his shirt, the shirt's all crazy. But it's not so far-fetched to think it is. All the same. And those are the icons. So, to me, I am going to put it out there as this is what it is. The Summer Wells case, to me, put this up here, involves very, very, very deep-rooted families that are very, very, very deep-rooted into this same cult-like living arrangements. The sacrifices are the same across the board. They all use the same equipment. It's set up in their house. And whatever harvesting they're doing of organs gets placed in those buckets and gets shipped right over the border. Whatever they're doing in between is sick and disgusting, but they're all in it together. They're all in it together. Everyone plays a role, and it's deep, and they're using the church as their excuse. And this is what they're doing to them. This is what they're doing to them. And each child has their own icon. And I do believe Michael Vaughn was with them. And that other little girl could be Lena. It could be the girl that's standing next to her in church. But as far as deep fake goes, I see through it now. There aren't many places they have to go search and look to bust this thing wide open. There are not many cases many people they have to pull in and discuss this with to bust this wide open. To bust it right open. This is Summer Wells missing children's case. And whatever's floating away isn't a breathing person floating away. It's a sacrificial sacrifice. That's what it is. And they're all the same kind of they may look like they're in different settings, but it's the same process. Over and over. And I do believe that is Summer Moon Wells. And that they're both doing. These two girls are doing the same thing. Same thing. And that Summer, she's already gone, like spiritually gone. She's in. It's a real photo. It's a real sad photo. And this is just on her way there. Those are the icons that are being used for the Summer Wells photos and for the Summer Wells missing children to watch to see what happened. But you can't get to those because that's deep, dark web. One of her last photos of just cut her hair off. They're all the same, guys. They're all the same. I don't know why they haven't dug up the ground of the house that's right behind them that has the red Toyota pickup truck. These photos are identical. They're all the same. It's a major sacrifice, you guys, and it's something that's very hard to explain and cover. Like, I find it very hard for me to find my words for it because it sounds so far-fetched. But this is our world that we live in. This is the part of the world that no one wants to bust open. This house is guilty. That's his truck on his property. That house is guilty. That's location. That's the water location. I'm showing you. I pulled it all together. It's a water location. I just know that this is a sacrifice, what it looks like. I don't know. They deep faked their location here. For all this, this probably is the Laurel Park, but I can't guess it because they deep faked the location. This is part of the sacrifice. It's part of the machinery. These little doll things. This makes sense. That's part of the machinery. The green part is pretty important. I think maybe that is the mask. Maybe they make a mask from the mask, and they use the one mask as a mold. I don't know. But this is all from the young kids on YouTube. This is showing that the machinery that's in those young kids' families' YouTube equipment it's all the same. And that's Lori Vallow's child on his last night. That's his last known photo connected to that machinery. Went through all this. Take a good look at this, you guys. That's her son, or someone's son, on the machine. On the machine. That's a child's head. It's a child's head. It's the machinery. It's all the same. All the pictures match up. They're the same information from different states. These guys don't live in Tennessee anymore. I don't know where they live, but I don't think they're in Tennessee. Well, you guys, I really hope justice is served today. And keep going through this PDF. Really look at it and kind of try to wrap your heads around the fact that this is our world. This is what is happening to our children. And they are getting away with it. They're not flinching. They're not flinching. I'm not really quite sure where it will go from here, but it's time to, I think it's time to pull these people in and question them about these photos. How is it that your leg could be wrapped in these things? We could close these cases. Once one is broken open, the other cases behind it, there's so many, could be broken, busted wide open. I mean, come on. Really? It shouldn't look like this. This shouldn't be what they're doing on the beach. And the thing is, everyone is advertising it. It's money to them, you guys. You think that you get all pissed off that people are on YouTube for clicks because of Summer Wells? How about going on YouTube and showing sacrifices when someone gets the shit kicked out of them and then their head chopped and they're all bleeding and this is all televised. I just happen to be grabbing photos in between their frames because I don't go to the dark web. This is what's on her head. This is what's going on with these kids. It's probably right over the border. This is what it is. Televised. And she sums it up perfectly. When you go from this to this. She said that. Basically answered my question. This is real. This is real. Someone needs to speak up. Someone needs to just go do what they have to do. Someone needs to be the one to do it. This is not fucking normal. They're killing our kids. That's a snake. This is what goes on in their so-called church. This poor little girl has not found justice. She probably was left just like in a sacrificial thing. Same thing. I'm sure she had the same thing. And it's the parents that did it. They sold them to it. This is their basement. This is in their basement. Wow. It's the beauty of our world as we see it. You guys, I hope that was very informative, and I hope that gives you a lot to think about. Really. I don't know what's happening with this case right now. I hope you guys see that the sense in this. I really hope so. I'll be on again tomorrow. And go look back at their stuff. Go look 6 months, 7 months back. Play her videos. Play the vigils. Play all of the channels, news channels footage. Go back. You'll see it. Thank you all so much. Really, really love that you're listening and really hope understanding it. I will talk to you tomorrow. God bless you all, and thank you so very much for tuning in. Stay healthy, y'all. Bye-bye.